Hare Krishna, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramai ki jai, Nitai Chaitanya ki jai, Parshuram Bhagwan ki jai, Vamandev ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to this program of daily English Bhagavad Gita, verse by verse. We are in chapter number 2, contents of the Gita summarized. So we are in the Bhagavad Gita 2.48. So the verse goes like this: Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So let us take a couple of moments to first reflect on this verse. Very nice, instructive verse. Krishna is saying, Arjuna is advising him to do his duty, but in an equipoised manner, abandoning attachment to success or failure. So basically, not to get disturbed by success or failure. Such equanimity, such neutral stage is called yoga. Yogastha kuru karmani means being situated on a spiritual platform. Sangam tyaktva, without the bodily conception of life. Dhananjaya means Arjuna. Siddhya siddhau samo bhutva. No matter success or failure, doesn't matter. Perform your duty. This is yoga. This is yoga. Right? So let's try to understand this in detail. So in the previous verse, 2.47, the very famous verse, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhu ma te sangostva karmani. Everybody in India knows this verse. There's no person who will say that I don't know this verse, right? And such an amazing verse also, the previous one, where Krishna said, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your work. So Krishna is continuing from the previous verse here. And in the beginning of the second chapter, Krishna gave information to Arjuna that you are not the body. You are the eternal spirit soul. Your nature is spiritual. You are not limited by your bodily limitations. You are eternal. But somehow you are wrongly thinking that you are the body. And based on that, you are making wrong judgment in your life. Right? So, but this is theoretical knowledge. Simply saying that I am not the body, is that enough? That's just theoretical, is it not? Suppose just like if you join one company and on the first day of your joining, the HR tells you that your duty is so and so. Your work or your role is so and so. So if you just sit down in your workplace and just simply keep repeating that I am the manager, I am the manager. Is that enough? Right? It's not enough. You must start acting like the manager. You must start acting like the role. So it is not enough to simply get the information that we are the eternal spirit soul. So now that I am the eternal spirit soul, it doesn't mean that I'll just sit down and just keep repeating that I am the eternal spirit soul. Wrong. Because the nature of the soul is to be active. Soul is full of consciousness. And soul can never be inactive. It cannot be inert. Right? So what this verse means is, we must start working on the spiritual platform. We are already working. There's nobody who is not working. It's not possible. Even if there is somebody who is unemployed, that person cannot say that I don't do anything in that whole day. There are so many activities every person does. Or even if there is a person who has retired from active life, from his profession, such a person also, there are so many activities to do. There is a work to be done. Never there is a time that you can just remain inert. So yoga sthaha means spiritual platform. That means we must remain on this spiritual platform. Don't fall down to the bodily platform. Sangam tyaktva means don't be touched by the bodily conception of life. That is like when I'm doing a work, I must not think that I am doing this because I am so and so. I am so and so, therefore I'm doing this. Or in the sense that I am this body, that is why I'm doing it. No. We must do it on a spiritual platform. That means that I am the eternal spirit soul and I am somehow trapped by the material energy. And I am doing my prescribed duties neutrally. Siddhya siddhau samo bhutva. Means siddhi means success. Asiddhi means failure. No matter whether it is successful or failure, right? If we can just take up this one single verse of Bhagavad Gita into our life, we can become very powerful, very productive, I must say. You can get all the awards possible in your work life, right? Just with this one verse. And you'll get so much of peace of mind also, right? Because most of the time, we are worried about this. Siddhya siddhau. Whether will I succeed or will I fail? Should I write it exam or should I not write the exam? Should I do this work? Should I not do this work? If I do it and if I fail, so if I do it, I may fail, therefore I shall not do it. Correct? Or if I succeed, then that is also another problem. Success is a bigger problem, they say, right? Because if you become successful, then there is more things that you'll have to do. Just like if you set up a business, if nobody is coming to that shop, work will be less. If thousands of people are coming, then suddenly there's a bigger problem. Suddenly somebody becomes very famous, celebrity. That person doesn't know what to do next. What should I mean if let's take a film star. A film star has given a successful film, right? The first film, debut film is a super hit. Now that film star will become much more tensed. New star, now what should be the next film? How should I continue this success? Because I want continued success next, once I get the success. So these are all the different factors that run inside our mind. So, but here Krishna is saying, Siddhya siddhyo samho bhutva. Forget about it. Whether it is successful, unsuccessful, that is not your business. You simply work. You do your duty perfectly. Right? And sangam tyaktva. Again, do not get attached to these results. That you have become successful, etc. See another example. Let's say that there's a person who is into sales, right? And people who are into sales, they have sales targets, and sometimes there is more sales during the season. During the off season, there is less sales due to various reasons. There can be more sales, there can be less sales. So, but then that salesperson doesn't have to bother. Means as long as that person is connected to the management through the manager, working on the instructions given by his manager, that person is going to get the salary. It is manager's business, the sales manager's business, to worry about how many units are going or not going. The salesperson has to simply do his duty, right? So simply like that. So when you're working, you don't expect any profit, right? It's like a person who is working in a, let's say in a bank, right? So that person doesn't bother, like whether the money has come, money has gone. That's not his botheration, right? He's working as an employee there, right? That's not your botheration. There are other people who are hired for that, taking that tension, right? Let the senior management worry about it. Similarly, let Krishna worry about what has to be done, what not has to be done. I mean, let us not try to become the controller of the universe. That what will happen to this person, what will happen to this person, what will happen to my life, what will happen to this. We are under the able leadership of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All we have to do is we have to work in God consciousness. Just like how in office, you have to work under the instructions of your manager. That's it. As long as you are following the instructions, you are on the track. There's no problem. As long as we are following the instructions of Krishna given in the Bhagavad Gita, we are on the track. So actually, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Actually, this is the real meaning of yoga. So working in yoga, Krishna repeatedly says, work in yoga, work in yoga. But then the common perception of our understanding of yoga is doing some bodily exercises. So is Krishna saying Arjuna to do Shirshasana in the war? Means just to become upside down and stand on his head and then shoot the arrows? Or is Krishna advising us to do Surya Namaskar in the board meeting room? Or do Shavasana in the kitchen? Right? This is not what Krishna is saying. So we have to understand this. The real meaning of yoga is given Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is called as a Yoga Shastra. It is the scripture of yoga. The topmost yoga system is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Now, that is what is being explained in Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. That Krishna consciousness is the real meaning of yoga. Means to concentrate your mind upon the Supreme. At the moment, our mind is not upon the Supreme, it's on our body. It's on the energy of the Supreme, on the material world. We just have to change that and put our consciousness on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, so this is a simple verse. Just by doing this verse, just by doing this Krishna consciousness, we can advance very nicely. So, and we can attain the perfection of life. So that's the purport of this verse. Anybody has any questions? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If anybody wants to add something, you can add any comments.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.